Well, good morning, everybody. It's nice morning, sunshine. We had a few days of rain out west here, and it wasn't excellent weather, but it looks like today's going to be something different. I do videos all the time. I talk about Canada as it really is, and there's an overwhelming amount of propaganda put out there, right, left narratives. I continually hear about the Reimer Fulmick, total bullshit, foreign, completely fake, completely not in the realm of what Canada is or can even legally be done in Canada or on any world stage. None whatsoever. The proof of this is you don't have Justin Trudeau chasing after any of that. In fact, they ignore it because they welcome that. They love that. And the sooner people figure out what Canada really is, one, not a corporation. It's not natural law or any system we could ever entertain in what people think is natural law. Worse is people talking about common law. Absolutely no real sense of what it is and who's coming up with this propaganda. You will find no lawyers, none whatsoever in Canada, supporting any of these narratives. And of course, none of the people are lawyers. They often ask you for money. They tell you to subscribe. They tell you to give your personal information. Sign a petition. Canadians, First Peoples, show me one petition ever that's amounted to any real legislation ever in Canadian history. The answer is none. You're giving up your private information. You're often donating money to liars, full-blown liars. The power to legislate is codified in our Constitution in absolute Crown customary law. This is the autocracy forever and a day that's always been Canada. Anyone telling you otherwise is a fraud. No real lawyer based in any real sense of Canada. Show me a lawyer who backs that up. A justice, anyone throughout the world. You won't find any. No one. These are absolute lunatics. Often folks from unitary systems of government. Completely centralized governments. Either completely civil law socialist or a centralized government based in pure autocracy, which is what Canada is. All the issues everybody has is found codified for the umpteenth time. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to read the Canadian Constitution. Your sovereignty is given away in the preamble. You swear an allegiance to a far-off crown dictator, a divine deity, not God. You have a charter where people say, oh no, that's all changed in the charter, that just like since the Magna Carta is defined by that monarch. And folks, since 1952, I'm going to say it again for all the radicals from the right, lunatics from the left who are subscribing to foreign powers who are there just to trip you and get you to fall on your face. Go look at the history of every crown position appointed by your supreme executive prime minister. Governor General, who has all the power over your courts, over your military, over your police, the entirety of your justice system. That was just like what was Nazi Germany, another crown colonial enterprise. Not a corporation, a system of divine right of one class of people, a first class, over a second and then third class, which is most of you. If you work for a living, if you're an employee or a small business owner under 20 employees, you fall in third class. Second class is your higher, larger businesses, and they must be loyal and follow whatever crown party is in power, or it's back to third class for you. That's how it works. The first class gets all the benefits of capitalism and socialism. They're all paid through serious centralized socialism. If you don't understand that, folks, I don't know what to tell you. You're a taxpayer, a working Joe Jane. You get the lion's share of all the bills from socialized system and the capitalism. You don't get any benefit of it. You don't go with inflation. You don't get anything. You get the massive tax share to pay for what they blow or print or trade at a massive deficit, lining their pockets in foreign powers. It's called Crown Customary Law. There's lieutenant governors of every province, all appointed by Governor General, who is sworn and appointed by Prime Minister. That's it. You have a privy council of ministries appointed by the Prime Minister. The Senate is not conservative, not liberal, not NDP, none of it. They have different names altogether. Canadians hardly know anything about the power of executive. There is no elected Senate in Canada. It's all appointed by each and every Prime Minister as holes need to be filled, as people retire after a lifetime appointment. This is not in natural law or a conversion of natural law. It's not common law. It's not British law. It's not none of these things anyone talks about. There's no way out of it unless you elect a Prime Minister to break the crown. Crown is attached to everything. All of the government positions are labeled crown, and it's mostly done in customary law. If you read your Constitution after the preamble, the first 2/3, 1867, highlights entirely all of the crown customary legal power of the system. None of you are there. There's no First Peoples. There's no Canadians. None whatsoever. You are one of a limited amount of countries that still operates this way and has a living, codified constitution built in this manner. It's not corporate. People talk about common law, the law of precedent, meaning when a judge rules one way, everybody must rule in similar cases. Law of precedent, what was ruled before. Prime Minister has the ability to order your Chief of Justice, the Supreme Court, highest court in the land, not to hear your case. Hear your case, not rule on your case or provide remedy, or entirely rule a way that the Prime Minister wants done. That is what we call King's Court. It's been a 950-year history of all monarchies or constitutional monarchies. For all intents and purposes, since 1952, you can look. All governor generals, lieutenant governors, and every other crown position in Canada, but those are the major ones, highest authority in Canada, of the provinces, of the country. Tremendous autocratic power. Now, before 1952, that was Britain. UK's divine power of the Queen, to be separate from the Prime Minister and that system. Everybody knows about Westminster in 31, but nothing changed until King George VI, who made a deal with the United States of America and the USSR former. They made a deal. I'm going to go through it again. Atlantic Charter 1941, not Joe Biden's dirty, corrupt piece of filth in 2021, rewriting all of the Ally history. We're also talking about the Yalta Conference 1943. Those two documents led to the UN Charter, where they had to give it all up. And while King George had written all that, King George VI, with Winston Churchill firmly at his back, it's what led to D-Day. It's what got USSR and USA to join in the fray and free those colonials, with the promise that they would give up all autocracy, give the power to the people, at least in federalism, at least in regional powers. So you don't have a supreme dictator like Justin Trudeau or any other prime minister you elect. Are there some better than others? Sure. But as it stands today, folks, they use the full executive crown autocratic power, which is crown customary law, bestowed and empowered in your very old and absolute product of colonialism, your Constitution, or Act 1867. Yes, imposed on you. Yes, imposed by an elite minority group. Absolutely. What we need is a political party to come forward with a platform to destroy that crown. And of course they don't want to. Why would they? No premier even wants to cement the powers of the province, because they would lose their pure autocracy, their ability to rob, rape, and steal from you. Because as it stands now, as long as a premier of any party designation can make the prime minister happy, they're free to rape, pillage, plunder, even genocide you if they wish to. They make deals back and forth. Party be damned. You all know it's true. You watch Doug Ford do it. You watch Jason Kenney do it. You've seen John Horgan do it. Look what he's doing with the wet sweat and all the massive amounts of unseated Indians in British Columbia. The worst of the worst. I mean, it's going on in Ontario too. Quebec, no one says a bloody word. Zip your lip. Completely beyond all reason and measure. And if you haven't seen the clear, customary crown power of that government, go look at Parliament Quebec. Parlement de Quebec. Go look at it. Look at the face of that building. I have a video for all of you. I took massive pictures on my exploration, but there is nothing in Canada supporting any of these narratives, often coming to get you all to fall on your face. People don't like to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Oh, no, I got somebody told me on YouTube, oh, this guy, he's from another unitary state. Let me tell you, Federalist countries are an extreme minority. They're also the most powerful countries, and they also give the most power to the people over and over. My time has come, folks. It's time to go. I have things to do today. Share. Get it out there. Stop with the fake narrative. Start hammering these folks, because it's sad. It's pathetic and it's gross. Learn what Canada is. Once you do that, you can actually make a difference. Trudeau's hammering on me every day. All the work we're doing with the First Peoples. He ain't going after Reimer Folmick or the rest of these people talking about health, freedoms. They're coming after our group. Small, not well funded, but knowledgeable, with real world experts. A real danger to the autocratic government. That's truth. That's truth. Why would they be coming after a guy like me? Because I'm on the right track. We don't ask for money. We do everything volunteer. And we're coming after the federal system to fix Canada. Realistically, with world experts. I don't see anybody else with world experts, people. You're dumping your money. You're giving your personal information to be shared out throughout the world. For what? To get put on a watch list? Wake up, folks. Wake up. If people are asking you for money, telling you to sign petitions, show me one petition in Canadian history that's ever made a difference. Show me. Because there is none. We just went through it with guns. Michelle Rempel's done a pile. What has it ever yielded? Nothing but taking your personal information and peppering you with more propaganda. That's it. That's my video. Search your souls. You know it's all true. Read your Constitution. Quit with making up fake narratives or following them. Because none of it ever materializes. Nothing. Nothing. Ever. Bye now.